Hey guys, Easy Amateur Radio here. We're back on the bench for another one today. First off, I would like to say this shop that I make these videos in and work in is a working production shop. So we had the laser machine going. I wish I could find more time to do everything where I don't have to multitask. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to listen to the air condition run. But sorry about that. But I want to talk about traveling. Recently, I took a trip to Arkansas, and these were the two stars of what I brought with me traveling with the radio. This is a Spec 5. I believe it's called a Trekker. I don't know exactly what lower boards are in it, what Meshtastic boards or anything like that, but this was my Meshtastic device, not Mesh Core, Meshtastic device that I chose to travel with. I want to talk about it first. I did not use an external antenna with this or anything like that. I stuck it in the dash of the Forerunner like this, where the antenna was up in the glass, and with it sitting like this, the antenna's horizontally polarized, but that really didn't make that much of a difference. You know, I picked up several nodes in Hot Springs, even went up on the mountain inside the national park with this, picked up a few nodes, I think 2 or 3, and then when we traveled home back to Louisiana, I picked up several nodes in, and I'll put a map up on the screen so you can see. Not very detailed. I don't want to expose anybody or anything like that. But in Little Rock, we went on the outskirts of Little Rock, and I picked up a bunch of nodes. I really enjoyed traveling with this radio. I charged it every night. I think it usually lasts about 24 hours or so. Have it configured not in like a tracking mode anymore. I have it configured in just a standard client mode on long fast. I wasn't able to message anybody, but I did get some messages acknowledged in Hot Springs on top of the mountain. I thought that was pretty cool. I enjoy traveling with this. I always like to bring Meshtastic with me just to see what nodes I pick up. I was expecting a little bit more out of it being on top of a mountain, but considering, you know, they were 7-8 miles away, I'll take it. In Louisiana, where I'm at right now, we really don't have really good Meshtastic. I think the furthest I made in Louisiana was somewhere around 7 miles, and that was because the other recipient was using a drone. They had a Meshtastic with the drone, and I was able to message him through that, about 400 feet in the air. So that was traveling with Meshtastic. And I want to talk about traveling with VHF UHF amateur radio. So this is my VGC N76. I really like it. This flat dark earth color looks good, you know. USB-C chargeable. That's why I picked this up. I wanted to bring this instead of a Baofeng Mini because of the APRS capabilities. I ran APRS all the way up into Hot Springs, around, and the way home. And I even tried to message a few people with the corresponding app with this. The messages got through, but I didn't get any responses. I'll put some like screenshots on the screen, kind of what it looked like through APRS.fi and through the VGC HT application, you know, like packets I decoded, things like that. And this is what the total decode map looked like for the entire trip. You can see stuff I've got down in Alabama, South Louisiana, you know, all the way up. Harold did not go on the trip, and he's kind of mad about it. I would have thought there would have been a little bit more 2-meter action. Now, I was using this with an external antenna on the roof of the car. That external antenna is just going to be this Amazon special. This is a real Nagoya antenna, and I've been using this antenna for like 6 years now. It's fantastic. I really like it. I've used it for trips. I've used it on my daily drivers, everything like that. I really like it. You know, my APRS beacon at 5 watts, there were several different eye gates I was at and digipeaters I was able to hit in Hot Springs, but traveling there, you know, through rural Louisiana, with it being flat, I really didn't hit many. I think I hit 1 or 2 digipeaters the entire way on 5 watts and a mediocre antenna. You kind of expect that, but I was really impressed with the performance. I had smart beaconing on, so it used my location and speed to determine how many times it's going to beacon out. The lowest I saw the battery get, and this is after running it, you know, 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, was 39%. On the way home, I ran it the entire seven-hour ride, and it only ended up being, you know, at like 49%. So just under 50%. I was very pleased with this. I did try to activate Hot Springs National Park, US 0038 on 2 meter simplex, and I was not able to get anybody. I was on top of the hill, but you know, it is what it is. It was on a Friday. People were at work. I really wasn't expecting a lot of people to be on the radio, especially not 2 meters. The last time I went to Hot Springs for a work trip, I was able to first call into town. I picked up somebody, and I thought that was pretty cool, but that was with a 50-watt radio 2 years ago. And I did pick up one simplex station at the off-road park. We were on top of a hill. I was able to pick it up, but I really wasn't able to pull it out the noise. I didn't try very long with this radio just because of the low power, but I really did enjoy it. So I really didn't learn any super big mistakes from traveling with these radios, but I enjoyed using both of them. They definitely were the radio superstars of the trip. The X6100 will get its own video, not so much the superstar, but these two rocked it. 10 out of 10 would recommend to bring these again. 73 guys, easy amateur radio. Hope you enjoyed it.